Welcome to the resistance, the New York Post. The New York Post, a conservative tabloid owned by Rupert Murdoch, part of Rupert Murdoch's conservative media empire. You wouldn't expect them to run an article critical of Donald Trump, but that's exactly what we're getting from the New York Post editorial board. They are out with a new warning for Donald Trump, and that is actually exactly how the article begins. Quote, "A warning to President Donald Trump. Everyone, including your friends, is starting to get a brutal case of tariff burnout." This warning is in response to Trump's recent threat to impose a 50% tariff on the EU. He went from imposing 20% tariffs before cutting that to 10% for 90 days on April 9th, to then showing how he struggles with emotional regulation and posting on Truth Social last week that his discussions with the EU are going nowhere and they have been difficult to deal with. So he floated a 50% tariff to start June 1st, only to announce on Sunday that he has now agreed to a deadline extension of July 9th. All of this seemingly part of the art of the deal, right? Put wildly unpopular policies in place, cause a panic, walk back said wildly unpopular policies, claim victory, repeat. And don't take my word for it. Take it from the New York Post. Quote, "It's more whiplash for those following closely. He keeps announcing prohibitive levies, then backing off, and even brandishing landmark deals, only to seemingly go on the war path again. It may make sense to him, and his specific targets may get the message he's sending their way, but everyone else is trying to read what it means for themselves. Who feels confident they fully understand the strategy behind the tactics, and does so enough to have a clear sense of where things will stand in 6 months?" Good question, not me. In fact, if any one of you out there want to provide some comforting prognostications for me, that would be great. The only sense that I have of the future right now is terror. So in the words of Johnny Lang, please, someone lie to me. Tell me everything is all right. It's what we need right now. But the editorial board is making the point here. Not only is Trump's chaotic governance giving his critics ammunition, it's also scaring his supporters. Quote, "Import and export sensitive businesses, especially mom and pop places with tiny margins, many of whom are Trump's own supporters, can't plan or take risks when they don't know what's coming down the pike, which chokes entrepreneurship. And casual observers wind up fearing that he has no strategy, that he just pushes the tariff button when he's bored. It's one thing for your enemies to find you unpredictable, another for your friends to worry you're acting on pure whim. All of this uncertainty exacts a cost of its own, angst that builds with every surprise twist." They go on to note that 57% of Americans say that tariffs are hurting the economy, that 26% of Americans say they are the biggest mistake of Trump's second term. They're trying to appeal to Donald Trump's desire to receive applause and retain the support of his followers. The only problem there, as I see it, is there is seemingly little that Trump can do to lose at least a solid percentage of his supporters. We've started to see some people peeling off as they realize the federal reduction in workforce meant them and their job, or the free IVF Trump promised is not going to happen. In other words, some people have found their empathy after their tragedy and it woke them up from the spell of Trump. But I guess the fear here from the, again, the New York Post, is that more Americans will begin to feel the pain and will start to make the connection that that pain is directly related to policy choices made by Donald Trump to sacrifice them. And then Republicans will lose their power. The ultimate fear for Rupert Murdoch. A popular conservative tabloid has spoken. Now, where are the elected Republicans?
If you or someone you love is on Medicare, this is important. The Department of Justice filed a major fraud complaint against 3 of the biggest Medicare brokers in the country. These brokers pretended to offer unbiased advice while secretly steering seniors into plans that paid them the greatest kickbacks. This is why I recommend Chapter. After seeing their own families get scammed, they created a better way. Chapter's fully independent and the only national Medicare advisor that searches every plan available to find the one that actually fits your needs. They advocate for you, not the insurance companies. No steering, no pressure, just expert help completely free. Chapter has saved the average senior over $1,000 a year, and they are a free resource for my audience. So if you want help with Medicare, give Chapter a call by dialing pound 250 and saying the keyword Medicare. You'll talk to a real person who will help you figure out exactly which plan is right for you, or go to askchapter.org/Pacman. The link is in the description.